everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while since I last filmed. Today is actually my last day here in the UK, so my flat is an absolute tip and I do actually have to do quite a lot of packing this morning before I actually sit down and probably talk to you guys about what's been going on with my skin, give you an update since my last video, which was the start of my kind of Project Reverse. As you just saw, I have been keeping a record every single day of the things that I'm doing and the observations that I've been making. So hopefully we can have a little look through that together. And first of all, like I said, I really do need to sort of pack my life together. So I'm gonna do that this morning, and then, like I said, I'm gonna sit down and really dedicate some time to this. So see you in a bit. Right everyone, I'm back. I've managed to pack all my things into 2 big suitcases, 1 smaller suitcase and 1 rucksack. So well done me. But the point of this video is not to talk about my packing process, as interesting as that is. We are actually here to be talking about Project Reverse, how that's been going, what's been happening, and yeah, and I feel like I have a lot of things to share with you guys. So as you saw at the beginning of my video, I have been actually keeping a spreadsheet, being the mega nerd that I am. So I think the reason I want to do this is mostly, of course, to just kind of keep a track and see how the different things that I'm eating, things that I'm doing are affecting and impacting my skin. Of course, a lot of things in that I already knew are going to be good and bad, but some of them are a little bit surprising. But before we start going into the sort of the nitty-gritty and sort of explaining the details, I thought I'd just give you a little quick close-up skin update here. So as you can see, my eye is actually not as dry as it has been. It's a little bit painful for some reason. I don't know if that was actually like a scratch that I did, or if it was something I went and got my eyebrows did yesterday, so I don't know if they just waxed a piece of my skin off. Gross. My lips have been really bad, actually. This week was really bad, and I can sort of tell you and show you a little bit of footage as to why and how that happened. And then we've got my neck. Always red and patchy and itchy, so no changes there. And then finally, I'm gonna show you my hands. So as you can see, my hands have been pretty bad. I've got some scratches pretty much all over my wrists. I've got this strange new patch here that came out, a big patch there. And then my hands, I have to keep wearing this plaster because the skin keeps splitting and then breaking. My other hand is pretty good, it's pretty fine. So that's kind of what my skin looks like at the moment. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Has it improved? It doesn't look like it, but even though it doesn't look great, I can actually say that it doesn't feel as itchy as it has done. But I do actually need to be honest that, you know, since I've filmed my first video, I 100% have not been super strict or anything. I went on holiday, I went skiing for a week, and then after that I came back, and then I went on a long weekend to Copenhagen, you know, because it's my last time that sort of spending lots of time with my friends and my boyfriend, obviously. And I kind of just felt like it was a bit of a last hurrah. So I definitely haven't been like super 100% focused on this because of all the other things that have been going on in my life. So having said all this, I'm going to now show you exactly what I've been doing sort of week by week, and you can have a look and you can actually kind of see the sort of patterns that are coming out with the sort of the observations that I've been making. So what I've done, I've set up this kind of like a tracking spreadsheet. A lot of people do sort of like journaling and writing diaries and things like that. I am terrible at keeping up with things like that, so I just don't even bother anymore. Also, I kind of do my job in Excel, so it's quite easy if I'm at work. I can just type it in and no one's asking any questions. For each day, I've basically indicated whether I've been plant-based, if I've exercised, if I've had meat, if I've had eggs, dairy, sugar and alcohol. Eggs, dairy, sugar and alcohol, I kind of know that those are things that do impact my skin. Apart from maybe dairy, I've had a bit of a question mark around dairy. Meat, I know actually doesn't really affect my skin. I just put it in there because a lot of people do ask me, do you have to be plant-based to heal your skin for eczema? And I've always kind of said, yes, you probably should be, but I just kind of wanted to see if there were any patterns there. So, and then I've said every day, I've basically indicated whether I've woken up and my skin's been better, it's been the same, or it's worse. I didn't want to make it any more complicated than that. I've got like a comment section here, obviously, as you can see, just sort of typing and reminding me what I did that day. Okay, so if we filter here, oh, what am I doing? Why is it not letting me add a filter? See, this is why I hate Mac. If we filter now by the week, so the first week, as you can see, I was actually pretty good on my first week in terms of what I was doing. Pretty much fully plant-based the whole week, was exercising here and there, and apart from on this Sunday here, you can see that I did have some dairy and I did have some alcohol. That was the day that I actually traveled to go skiing, and on arrival we had some Prosecco, so I had some. When I first started that week, you know, I felt quite motivated. I was like quite focused. As you can see, I did kind of stick to it pretty well. Good morning everyone, it is Monday morning. Not too excited about Monday mornings, but there we go. Day 1 of my Project Reverse, and as you can see, my skin is I mean, it's not worse than it was yesterday, but yesterday my skin was like, and especially on my hands, my finger was getting so itchy. I was scratching it up, and then that kind of like liquidy stuff comes out, and now it's kind of solidified, and now it looks like this. Ew. My skin was not good that week at all, and I think it's because, again, I guess I was going through a bit of like a second healing crisis, is my guess, because it really took me back to when I had really bad eczema. I just really didn't feel like going out at all. When I went to the office, I did, you know, sort of hide myself away a little bit. I'm back from work now today. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I did not love going to work, especially when my face is a bit like this, but it's okay. I kind of forgot what that feeling was like. So again, my heart goes out to all of you. It was a good reminder to sort of, you know, really think about people I'm trying to help. And yeah, I also kind of get this thing where I always feel like when I have eczema, especially around my eyes, I feel like I look really old, you know, and you just like feel really like unattractive. Like I feel like when my face is like covered in eczema, I remind myself of like this old man, like that. I remind myself of Gollum. That's how I remind myself of, you know, when you meet people and you talk to them and you can kind of see their reaction. The reaction is a bit like, it's kind of a mixture of, oh, what happened there, and pity. And I kind of, I just really, yeah, don't like that feeling. It does kind of get you down, I guess, a little bit, especially when you just like look at yourself in the mirror and yeah, all I see is Gollum. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that week at all. As you can see, like there were days it was getting better, and especially when I say it, I don't know if it necessarily looked that much better, but it definitely felt better. Morning everyone, day 2, and it's actually looking a little bit better, I think. It definitely feels a little bit better. I definitely wasn't scratching as much in the night. I didn't have that kind of sort of itchy, inflamed feeling, which I think is good. The only thing that I did have is my finger, I don't know if you can see, it has split really, really deeply. So I kind of woke up from that in the middle of the night. It's also sort of the inside as well, which is really painful. Or it just kind of felt the same. But for the most part, I think it was pretty consistent. But then let's go into week 2. Okay, so week 2, not so green anymore. Because this was the week that I went skiing, and skiing, as those of you who ski, as you know, skiing means harsh winds, lots of cheese, and it means lots of après. So as you can see, I had dairy pretty much every single day. I had sugar. I didn't have loads of sugar, but I did definitely have chocolates, you know, if I was, or like little cakes and things if we were stopping off in a little hutte in the mountains. Alcohol, I did drink quite a lot of alcohol. Basically, we stayed in the chalet where we would get wine for dinner, so I would always have like a glass or two. We also had a hot tub, so I would be having my Prosecco in the hot tub, so that was quite nice. But then on the Thursday, it was my friend's birthday, and we went hard on the après, basically. Funnily enough though, if you look at actually my skin, it didn't really seem like, there was one day I felt like it got worse, but the other times it was either same or getting better. Even though I really wasn't that careful with my diet, I was exercising a lot that week. As you can see, every single day, like skiing is really hard exercise. And as well, I think that the air is really good for you. The water is really soft there in Austria. So all these things I actually think made quite a difference on my skin. My finger, which had been really, really bad, it was like keeping me up at night. It was like throbbing every single morning. That was actually starting to heal, which was pretty amazing. Another thing I want to just show here is like what you put into your body is probably the foundation, but what I think actually goes, you know, what you're surrounded by in your environment 100% has a really big impact on your skin as well. Week 3, yeah, week 3, not great either. So week 3, I didn't drink anything, but a lot of reds here as well. And that was because I actually came back and I was ill when I got back from skiing. No, I didn't have coronavirus. I was just feeling a bit meh, so I wasn't very careful. And as you can see, my skin basically was worse or the same every single day. So that was, this was not a good week for me. Okay, so I had to show you guys this. I'm going out for dinner tonight, so I thought, okay, you know, special occasion, why not wear a little bit of mascara? Bear in mind, I don't think I've worn mascara in like 3 weeks now, so it's been a while. And went to go put some mascara on, and what is going on? Where are they? So I guess we're not going to be going for a smoky eye tonight. It's going to be more of a natural, I don't even need to wear mascara, I don't even need to wear makeup kind of look. Obviously distracting with my new dress. Do you like the dress? If you like the dress, like the video. We went on a long weekend to Copenhagen, and in Copenhagen it's a lot of like heavy dairy products. It's a bit like Sweden in that way actually. My skin got really bad in Copenhagen, really bad actually. Again, I just like was really self-conscious about my skin. I didn't want to go in daylight. The flat that we were staying in Copenhagen was also really damp. Finally, and then we get on to this 4th week here. So my 4th week, as you can see, I've been much better. I had a little bit of dairy, a little bit of sugar on Tuesday, but when I say a little bit, it was just because I had, I think, like a bite of chocolate, and I had a little bit, and I think that's why. So I actually kind of feel like that's negligible. The main thing that happened on Tuesday though is that I had a really hard exercise class, and that night I really didn't sleep well at all. I woke up really early feeling quite stressed. Exercise does raise your cortisol levels, and I have found this before. If I do really hard exercise, I can noticeably feel that cortisol in my body. And of course I woke up with these new patches of eczema everywhere. So today's look, we are going to be wearing a nice scabby lip as well as a nice red patchy area on the neck. And of course, to complement the entire look, we have a nice red flaky eye. For any of you who ever said that my lip eczema doesn't get that bad, take it back. On the other hand, the rest of my skin looks great. Do you think? So I think maybe there's something in the type of exercise that you do and how that can impact your skin. That was interesting. And then I actually felt a little bit better, as you can see, again, on the days that I'm, you know, really good and really clean. Hate that word. You know what I mean. Those are the days that my skin gets better. So if we actually look at some of the patterns here, if we have a filter by all the days where it was worse, what are the main patterns we can see here? I know that there's probably a lot more sophisticated, you know, ways of, you know, analyzing this data, but, you know, we're working with what we've got here. Sugar, it seems to be a killer. Dairy actually comes out quite a lot as well. I don't know if it's a lot of the dairy products that I tend to eat have a lot of sugar in them anyway. Alcohol, not that strong, but I think, again, it's not because, I think it's because when I drank alcohol, I was in the Alps, so I don't know if there was some kind of negation there. If we look at the data when it was better, well, it's pretty clear here. If I'm just pretty plant-based, keep it clean, avoid all these things, then I do tend to have much better skin. So that's not that surprising. Of course, apart from over here, which is in week 2 when I was skiing. So for some reason, when I was skiing, it didn't really matter what I was eating. My skin was still getting better. Same, I think, isn't that interesting. It's kind of a bit of a mixture. But what I would like to look at is meat. Same or worse? Interesting. Definitely not better. Okay, so what about sugar? If I say sugar, what happens? Yeah, so it's mostly worse. Mostly worse, same. Worse or same. There's 3 betters again when I was skiing, so that does, I feel like that doesn't really count. Maybe I should take that out because I feel like that's not real life. We don't go skiing all day every day. I think that sugar just seems to be the killer. Yeah, so I hope that was interesting. I hope that was like quite a thorough update of what's going on. As I keep mentioning, because, you know, you guys are so interested in my life as well, I am moving to Dubai tomorrow. I got a flight first thing in the morning, and I'm really hoping that, you know, and I'm pretty positive that the sun is going to make a big impact on my skin. It could have been better arriving, but like I said, you know, I've had a lot going on, guys, so you've got to kind of forgive me a little bit. There's a lot of transitioning going. I feel like this whole year has been a lot of moving around. That probably also has a big impact on my skin if you compare to last year when things were a lot more settled. I was in a flat which I really loved, and I was just there all year, whereas things this year have been a little bit up in the air. And of course, with that, yeah, if you guys want to do something like this, I actually do think it's a really useful exercise. You might want to track different things. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you guys are doing super well. If you like this video, then obviously give it a thumbs up and like and all the rest of it. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe, that'd be great, and I'll see you again very soon for another video in Dubai.